Hey guys, on the way to the airport. Bittersweet day today. 21489er is on the bad news side. That's that's the Archer that we fly. That plane went in for a 100-hour and found a cracked cylinder. So that's part of the joys of aircraft ownership, I guess. So that's kind of a bummer, but we're heading to the hangar right now to pick up the Arrow. She is back. So we sent the engine off to get an IRAN done and inspect and repair. The case halves were leaking, or found to be leaking, and that kind of goes back to some of the earlier videos with oil on the cowling. So we ended up getting the root cause of that, leaking at the case halves, and we sent it off to get it repaired, and that's done. So we're going to jump in the Arrow and do a really good run-up now that the engine is back, and do a good run-up, make sure that it's doing what it should be doing. And then we'll see if we can get up in the air and maybe just a short little flight, make sure that everything's doing what it needs to do, and we will get these planes back in service. All right, let's go.
Juliet, time 21530, Zulu, wind 070 at 4, visibility 10, light rain, ceiling 4,800 broken, 7,500 broken, 9,500 overcast, temperature 10, dew point 6, altimeter 302.9er. On average, 35 left approaching use. Has weather information for Texas and coastal waters, over high winds or flight service frequencies.
Alright, we have information Juliet. 302.9er is our altimeter setting. Letting this engine run up here. Gonna get good and warm. Coast Ground, good afternoon. Arrow November 6347 Charlie is just short of Mike, close to Papa here by the hangars. Like to taxi for closed traffic.
Number 6347 Charlie, hooks ground. You guys gonna do a run up today?
Affirmative, we're a maintenance flight.
6347 Charlie, hooks ground, under, taxi to the Delta ramp for your run up. Taxi via Juliet, Echo, Allen, Echo.
Welcome aboard.
40 Bravo.
We let the engine run up pretty good there. Had the, my GPS was dark, so Juliet.
6347 Charlie, squawk 0451, and the aircraft in front of you is holding short for you.
Alright, squawking 0451 and 47 Charlie's rolling. And host ground, Arrow 6347 Charlie's in the Charlie ramp, and run up is complete.
Number 6347 Charlie, hooks ground, runway 35 left at hotel, taxi via Papa Echo Foxtrot.
35 left at hotel, Papa Echo Foxtrot for Arrow 6347. Wind is 070, so we'll have a crosswind. Alright, so the run-up looks good. Engine's working really well, it just purrs. All of our engine instruments look really good. Engine's running nice and cool.
Hooks ground November 1966 Foxtrot, we're ready for taxi for run-up.
Oil pressure and temperatures look good.
Yeah, United.
Alright, so we got the Arrow.
Delta ramp for run-up, Juliet Echo Papa, November 1966 Foxtrot.
Arrow is back in service. So, unrelated to our power off landing, the plane went in for an oil change, and the mechanics found oil was seeping from the case halves. So whenever that's happening, the engine needs to be removed and sent off to an engine shop, and they got to crack the case open and then fix it all up and then put it back together. So it's quite the to-do. So today's the plane's first flight back. You'll notice we've been flying in the Archer 21489er. That was the first plane I ever flown. That was a plane that I trained in. We went and bought that to do my training. And the reason why we have different planes is we actually partnered up with the flight school and we lease planes back to the flight school. So that's why we jump in and out of different planes. But the Arrow is us kind of building our way up to faster planes. So glad glad to have this back in here. This is the maiden voyage from the engine being put back in, so I get to be the test pilot here, but we have some awesome mechanics. Look it up, we'll get, we don't need to do a break-in, so they changed out some rods and stuff, but we don't need to do a break-in, so we're going to go up and do the pattern. So the things I'm looking for in this is going to be a real thorough kind of inspection on the engine gauges as we get ready to on the roll here. So we'll make sure that everything's looking real good. And any sputtering, any vibrations or any anomalies at all will abort the takeoff. And we have a nice long runway here, so we've got lots of time to figure that out. I told the ground controller that we are a maintenance flight. You don't need to do that, but why not let them know what I'm going to be thinking about, what I'm going to be looking for. Other than that, it's just going to look like a little closed traffic pattern work. Alright, let's call tower. He didn't tell me to switch, but...
Hooks Tower, Aero November 6347, Charlie, holding short 35 left at hotel, ready for closed traffic.
6047 Charlie, Hooks Tower, 135 left at hotel, clear for takeoff, make right, close traffic.
Clear for takeoff, right traffic, Aero 6347 Charlie.
Alright, right traffic, clear for takeoff, 35 left at hotel, that's us. So, mixture comes on, fuel pump comes on, everything's looking good here. Clear to the right, clear to the left. Everything's set up. Carb alternate air. Low grabber center line. Right there. And everything's good. Let's go. Get that right rudder in. Airspeed's coming alive. Oil pressure looks good. Oil temperature looks good. Right down the center line, there's 70 knots. Rotate. Alright, positive rate. Gear coming up. We're doing right traffic. I'm just keeping that heading 350 right now, looking at my RPMs. Gonna throttle back actually because we're over the red line on the RPMs. I have my noise cancelling off on my headset just so I can make sure I hear anything. Airspeed 76 knots. Alright, so we're 1,000 feet above. Doing 90 knots.
November 47 Charlie, 135 left, clear for the option.
Clear the option, 35 left, 47 Charlie.
Alright, so we'll bring our gear. Got 3 greens. I'll bring in 1 notch of flaps. Oil pressures look good. 2nd notch of flaps. Alright. Nice and high here, which is what we want. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, props. Birds, oh, that was...
Charlie's going around.
Number 47 Charlie, roger.
Alright. Positive rate, reducing my flaps. And what's going on here? Gear coming up.
Hooks Tower, November 1966 Foxtrot, holding short of runway 35 left at hotel, ready for departure.
November 47 Charlie, 135 left, clear for the option.
Clear the the option, 35 left, 47 Charlie.
November 7, Papa Golf for opposite direction traffic, flash tested heading of 210.
210, 47 Papa Golf.
Alright, bring our gear down. Alright, we got 3 greens. 1 notch of flaps. Alright, trimming thing a lot.
November 487, Papa Golf, traffic no longer a factor. Proceed for the left downwind, runway 35 left.
Proceed left downwind, 35 left, 47 Papa Golf.
Alright, gas. Undercarriage. Mixture, props. Alright, nice and stabilized here. This one's feeling better. Clean up our flaps. Got my RPM gauge. We're getting close to that red line. We're going to throttle back even though we're on takeoff. Alright, something's not right. We're going to make this a full stop. I can control my propeller's RPMs with the blue lever.
November 487, Papa Golf, runway 35 left, clear to land.
35 left, clear to land, 47 Papa Golf.
So I'm keeping it at that red line with my propeller control. I'm just going to leave the gear right where it is.
November 6347, Charlie number 2, following a Cirrus on left base, report in sight.
47 Charlie's looking for traffic.
Alright, so we're looking for a Cirrus.
November 6347, Charlie, turn base, runway 35 left, clear for the option.
With the option, turning base 47 Charlie, we had that traffic in sight. We'll be a full stop.
Alright, gas, undercarriage, mixture, and props. So our gas is on our full tank, mixture is full, props are full. Alright, and then we got 3 greens. Alright, so
November 7, Papa Golf, where do you park?
We're at the T-hangers.
November 7, Papa Golf, roger, exit, echo, contact ground 121.8.
121.8, we'll exit Echo, 47 Papa Golf.
alright, green, 3 green.
November 369, Romeo Juliet, runway 35 left, clear for the option.
Runway 35 left, clear for the option 369, Romeo Juliet.
One difference between owning a plane and renting a plane is these maintenance flights where the plane went through a major mechanical work, and you get to be kind of that test pilot to bring it back in the air and get it back in service. That's something I never really thought much about before. But when you're jumping into a plane after the engine was chopped off, sent away, and brought back, and everything was put back together, you think about that pretty carefully. You think about always having an out. What would you do? when would I abort my takeoff? You probably spent a lot of time kind of thinking about that one. These flights typically are pretty routine. There's a lot of you do a lot of planning. You make sure you have good weather days, but this one here we kind of found that, you know, hey, this does need to go back for an adjustment, which we did here. And right now I'm looking at the RPM gauge and it's right on the red line. So full throttle, full prop forward, and we're right on the red line on takeoff. So that's where we wanted to be. So the adjustment worked. I'll do a couple other laps here just to make sure that we can make sure that it's on red line and we can't go above it, and that we're in a good spot. So I'll keep the video going there. I did lose the audio, and that's why I'm kind of talking through to you now, voicing it over. That's the bad news. The good news is I did get a GoPro for Christmas, so we'll check that out on one of the next videos. But these flights are a little bit stressful. You do a lot of planning. You have good mechanics. You trust your team, but I will tell you that you do think long and hard about jumping in a plane that just had the engine chopped off and put back on. But you do a good run up. You get a good feel for it. The other thing to mention, this where the engine was sent off and the case was repaired. The difference with this is that you don't need to break in the cylinders again after this. So if we had new cylinders, we wouldn't be doing touch and goes here. You'd get up in the air and you'd work in a break-in procedure, kind of alternating between 75%, 65%, or whatever your manufacturer recommends. So that's a little bit different, and you think about them a little bit the same way. You know, you always want to have your outs. You make sure you have good weather days. You pick your route so that you're out of the way of traffic, but that you have lots of outs. And that's what, you know, kind of breaking in a cylinder. The first flight, I think you got to be up there for about 2 hours, just either going in big circles or flying a box pattern somewhere that's safe. But those are again some of the joys of owning a plane, is you get to, or you have to, do some of these maintenance flights just to make sure that the plane's good and back in service. But yeah, it's happy to have the Aero back for sure. The family's happy to have the Aero back. We'll have to do some convincing to get the wife back into it, but the plane really performs well, and I do like it. So happy to have it back. And the next video is like we started off this one. The next video is we're going to be breaking in a cylinder in the Archer. So the Aero's back in service, the Archer's down, but we're going to break in the cylinder in the Archer and get it back in. So started doing these videos to kind of show friends and family, you know, our trips and what that looks like, and then started getting some cool questions and have just been kind of keeping it going. But these ones here have kind of a spin towards owning the plane and the maintenance parts, and let me know if that's interesting or not, and if people want to see more of that or less of that, or more of the trips and whatnot. Leave those comments in the comments below and let me know, and I'm happy to dig into any of these types of subjects for anybody. And all right, well, thanks guys for watching. We'll end this one here. I think this was my my best landing of the day, so it's a good one to end it on. Thanks again for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you like these videos and this channel, and let me know how we can make it better. All right, thanks guys. Cheers.